What's up, guys? It's Coop Dizzle here, and welcome back to another episode on the Diamond Society SMP. It is another beautiful day here in the Red Star slums, and we're hanging out at the steampunk house that we built in the last episode. You guys really loved this build, and thank you so much. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. And speaking of the last episode, oh my gosh, guys, you killed it on the support. 25 likes in the first 24 hours. That is ridiculous. Thank you guys so much. It was also the most commented on video that I've ever put out. So unbelievable support. Thank you guys so much. And if you do enjoy this episode, please make sure you hit the like button. So we have some really cool projects planned for today. Actually, let me grab my horse real quick. And what we're going to do is I'm going to meet you over at the town center, the city center for the slums. And I'll talk about what we're doing today. So here we are in the town center for the slums, and it's looking a little bit different, wouldn't you say? Last time we had the steampunk house and this waterfall and then the dam, which I showed very quickly, but I just want to pause over here real quick because this was a couple of days worth of work, and I think it turned out really nice. So I just wanted to at least, give you a better look at it here. Now, ever since then, I have been busy working. So my recording opportunities are very limited, so I just go ahead and build stuff, and I figure I can always update you later. But I've been putting in retainer walls, and that's going to be one of the really big projects for this episode, is getting more of these retainer walls in place. Now, I have to give a big thanks to a couple of stream crafters, KR990 and Kruk, because this is basically a design that I ripped off of Photog Heights from the last Streamcraft map. And the only thing I literally changed was putting in some mossy cobble here and there, just to dirty it up a little bit, because we are in the slums, it should be a little bit dirty. And I think I still have to go through, I might go through on top and do that too, just to make it look a little bit grimy. But I think if we go walk over here real quick, I think that this is a really kind of a cool feel as you walk along here. Now these are just little boardwalks and whatnot. They aren't the roads. What you saw over there is my first attempt at a road, an actual road in the slums, which we'll talk about in a second. But one of the things that I want to do is have these little pathways down and have little docks here and just, make a little, I guess, canal out of it. I think that would be really cool and give you some opportunities just to have multiple levels to walk around on when you're visiting the slums. So retainer walls, that's the first big project. I want to try and squeeze another build in too, but we'll have to see how it goes, okay? But this retainer wall, it's going to go all the way around this island, and in some cases, if you can see my outline here, it's going to reshape the island. So let's go over to the map and take a look at that. And here's the road design I was pointing out just a minute ago. We'll walk along the sidewalk here. Now I did think about just doing the traditional Minecraft sort of patchy looking pathway that you walk on, but this is still a city, right? Red Star is a city. It's not like a village. So we need roads. That's kind of my opinion. If we have a city, we're going to need roads. Unfortunately, this was the widest one I could fit in, but I tried to make it look as broken and busted as possible for a road. So if you can imagine, stone is the road in really good shape, and then we've got this diorite where it starts to wear down. Cobblestone is where the road is just flat out broken, and this road is very broken. And then we've got the mossy cobble, which is like the earth is starting to retake the road, and then right here the earth is completely retaken the road. And we've got the same kind of concept over here. Since I didn't want to use cobblestone in the sidewalk here, I just used some stairs to make it look a little broken in places. There are other places where the grass is intruding on it. So I think it turned out pretty cool, and hopefully the other guys that live here will like it too. If they don't, I'm happy to trade it out. I even thought about just bringing all of this up one level, so we have a road that's flush with the sidewalk. Wouldn't quite look right, and we just have this stair dividing it, but it might make everything else look better as you're walking around. See how elevated that looks when I'm on the road? So I don't know, and I don't even know if this road is going to be big enough to really fit any vehicles on. That's another problem, but again, that's just as wide as I could get it. Once we get everything on this sort of foundation though, I think it's really going to start to come together and give us a way to add detail to the slums without it necessarily looking upper class. So real quick, since it's almost nighttime, actually let me sleep. Good morning. So real quick, let's take a look at our map here. I put this map up, and yeah, actually I'll talk about that later, but yeah, with this map, you can see this is our little area on top of the hill. I put in that grass pathway like I talked about in the last episode, but we've actually got different plans for how we're going to get up to the hill now, so that'll be another project for another time. But let's go ahead and start knocking some of these bad boys off. Can I, please? Okay, I had to derp around kind of fixing the maps real quick, so I just decided to make a quick cut in the video. But now you can really see that outline that I put in place, and notice how these are going to line up really nicely. So I think that's going to be good. We're going to cut to a third-person time-lapse and get started on this epic slums build. So kick back and relax and enjoy. And it's all done. It's finally complete, guys. The retainer wall all the way around the town center of the slums is finished. And I tell you what, I am really happy with it. Very excited. This is the side or the end, all the way on the end of the island where the wall is gonna show up. I don't know where that is, but it's the opposite end of where the dam is. And this is kind of how it turned out in most of the places. I did a couple of things off camera, I guess, after the time lapse. One was I added some vines, and that's just to make it look a little bit more run down. And then, well, it looks a lot more run down with all the vines, but actually, I think that's good because it's the slums, right? We really can't afford to take care of our infrastructure and whatnot. So then I also went through, added note blocks, sorry about that, note blocks and crafting benches to kind of make it look like boxes. So either boxes are getting dropped off and are waiting to get picked up, or the other way around, boxes have been dropped off. Well, boxes have either been dropped off from a boat waiting to get picked up to be taken to a store, or the store is dropping off a box for delivery and then they're waiting for someone to swing by on a boat and pick it up. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, so let's go just take a little cruise. One thing that also inspired all of this, I'll tell you, is Streamcraft and Photog Heights. For those of you who have been with the channel since Streamcraft Season 2 and Photog Heights, basically there is a river, and I tell you what, riding on that river in Photog Heights was one of my favorite things to do in that city. So I wanted to bring some of that here as well. But yeah, just taking a look around. I don't know how well you can see this with the boat moving so fast. I'm trying to go kind of gentle. Give it, oh, zzz. See, it's like you give it a gentle nudge and it just zooms off like crazy. The other thing I think it would be cool, even though it would be really fast-paced and action-packed and not relaxing at all, I think it'd be cool to turn this into a boat racing track. So let me know what you think about that. Like these lily pads, you have to dodge the lily pads, right? So you're not griefing the build. This is a really cool view too, if I can get my camera to sort of settle. There we go. I think that might be screenshot worthy. Let's chunk. All right, cool. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the time lapse. If you did, make sure you hit the like button for me. And but yeah, oh dang it, see what I mean? Okay, those are so hard to. It's hard to dodge them all. I'm getting much better than I was earlier. Earlier, I was hitting like every single lily pad. But anyway, so here we are finally on the other end of the build. You can see it was a really big project, very big build indeed. And I tell you what, there was one more detail, because I was saying to Thais, like while I was building this, shout out to Thais, by the way, Diamond Society member and Coop Dizzle family member, so please go check him out. He makes some great videos. But I was saying, dude, I keep thinking I'm done, but then I keep adding another detail. I keep thinking of more details to add. So then when I got finished putting in these boxes, I said, I'm finally done, completely done. And he said, no, one more detail. So I did. I added in these boats, just kind of one in each of these docks here. And that's hopefully it'll help people to see, like if you're riding around on a boat here, or if you get stuck in the water and you need to get onto land, you have two clues. One is this lantern here, and the other one is this boat. And both of those clue you in that there are staircases here. So like you go through here, walk up here, and now you're on the boardwalk. And that was what you saw me add in right at the end of the clip, was this boardwalk, which goes all the way around the entire, I don't know that you would call it mainland, but the entire island here that makes up the town center. I also threw in a few trees and some more vines and bushes and stuff like that. And I think that turned out pretty good. And now as you look around, I don't know, like that little bit seems really cool. There's some depth, there's some interest. I just think it looks really nice. Sorry, I had to kind of collect my thoughts and check my notes and stuff. Actually, we are going to be able to do one more build today, I think. That's going to be a clock tower. So, clock towers are a very steampunky thing. In fact, BC is building the Mac Daddy of the clock towers in the walled city. So please go check out what he's doing over there. It's going to blow your mind. But I have a pretty neat little clock tower design, I think. I worked really hard at it, actually. I had several failed attempts at a clock tower design in creative mode. Shoot, let's go ahead and hop over there, and I'll show it to you real quick. And there she is. What do you think, guys? I think it looks pretty cool. Now, you can see in my creative test worlds, I never build out the full thing. I just build out enough to get the idea, and you can see I kind of tinkered with some different ideas and stuff. But yeah, so let's kind of talk about the evolution of this design. You can see where I was working on the walls and stuff. By the way, I tried to do walls on different curves and tried to figure that out. I really wanted to be able to follow the natural curve of the land while still doing these wood pillars, but you can't do that without getting them flush like this, where the blocks are directly connected, and I don't like that. It's got to be more like, well, none of them work. There we go. It's got to be like these two when I do walls. And structures in general, I try to avoid having them in line with each other. I try really hard to make them at an angle to each other. And I think that adds depth and looks better. Anyway, that was a tangent there. So this was the first clock tower design here. And from the statues up, I like it. I think it looks nice. However, it just doesn't look proportional. Once you see the whole structure, I think after that it looks really rough. So it's just not proportional. Like the scaling is just not quite right. Originally I wanted to go for like sort of a cathedral look, right? And yeah, so this is what I did. So I wanted to continue with that concept. I thought, well, maybe if I just make the base taller, it'll be more proportional to the bell tower and the clock tower itself. So that's what I did. I raised this one up. Now, I like the detailing on this. I mean, it's not bad, not totally bad, but I quickly realized a couple of things. One is, if I made it the same height as this clock tower, then that's where the clock face would start, and that already looks really weird to me. I mean, it looks like a giraffe or something, guys. I don't know how else to explain it. So I tried this one. I said, well, let's toss out the cathedral idea and just do sort of like a base that's one block wider than the rest of it. And that, I think, was one of the better designs right there. I think that looks good. And we've got gears and stuff poking out too. I think all of that's cool. The gears, I'm trying to find a different gear design for that, but overall, that's not bad. But then I thought, you know what? I wasn't still completely happy with that. So then I thought, let's go for a rounded tower design. And that's what we did here. And I think that the rounded look is really, really cool. Now, this design we might come back to. In fact, I'm thinking maybe for Factorium or the Docklands, because I want to build at least, even if it's not me that builds it, I want to make sure there's at least one clock tower in every part of Red Star. So anyway, guys, this is what we're going to roll with. Now, a lot of people said that they like the bell tower. A lot of the people in the Diamond Society chat, some people said lose it. Some people said, you know, keep it. I kind of like there being a bell tower on top of the clock, but it kind of makes it look like the clock's wearing a hat, which isn't necessarily bad, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I'll put a picture on screen right now, and you guys can tell me. I'll put it on the right side here, so we can compare the clock tower with the bell tower and without the bell tower. And you please tell me in the comments if you want me to add the bell tower in. We'll put it in before the next episode or something like that. But for now, we're just going to build it like it is here. So I tell you what, guys, the thing is, let's avoid some future, lots of spoilers everywhere. For now, guys, what I've got to do is there's a little bit of diamond blocks in this build, and I've got less than a stack of diamonds. Now, in the Diamond Society, if you have less than a stack of diamonds, you are dirt poor. So I've got to go mine for some resources, okay, before we start this build. And while we do, I'm going to take that opportunity to give you a personal update, and then we'll continue we'll pick up where we left off after that and do this clock tower build, and that'll be the day. That'll be the episode right there. Alright guys, I'm going to keep this pretty quick. There's so many things that I would like to talk about, so many things I'd like to do, but just can't for time purposes. I really have been wanting to talk about the channel itself. I've been really excited for how the channel's been growing, and thank you guys so much for all your support on the channel. Please keep it up. I want to grow this channel, and I want to turn it into something cool, like really cool, but it's just really hard for me to do that right now. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the Coop Dizzle family. And one thing that you ought to know is that my wife is a dying cancer patient, and it's getting worse and worse. Like, we are at the end stage of her life, and we're not in like the last few days, but we're in the last, they said this past week, 3 to 6 weeks is what we're looking at. And she is just deteriorating so fast, it's unbelievable. And I say that just so if you're new, you understand there's going to come a point again where I have to take another break from making videos. I found a way to do it for a while. For a few weeks, I was able to finally find a way to do it where I can make videos and not really take time away from her. But now the time that she needs is just so demanding, and the amount of help that she needs is getting really demanding. So, and also, not to mention that I record in my bedroom, which is where she is all of the time now. She never, ever leaves the bedroom. So, anyway, so it's getting tougher, guys, to make episodes, and it may be that this may be the last episode you see for a while. So, anyway, I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop on that, and shoot. It's just tough times right now, but I tell you what, I want to say thank you again to you guys, because seeing the last episode blow up like it did with all of the likes, and that's one of the most commented on videos I've ever had, guys. One of the most liked videos too. I think it broke 30 likes. Shoot, that's incredible. So seeing that helps me, it just helps me to feel a little bit better. You know, it gives me something cool. And so I really do appreciate you guys and all your support and for watching the videos, and I'm glad that you're enjoying them. Anyway, I wanted to keep this pretty short, so we need to get back to work. So you should be hearing some music in the background. We're going to cut to a third-person time lapse. Let's go build ourselves a clock tower. Alright guys, well this is just an alternate ending just in case I'm not able to record a sign off after I build the clock tower, but I wanted to share this view with you. This is one of my favorite spots now in Red Star. Check that out, man. With my house on the top of the hill, the waterfalls, the trees, Cortezarino's houses and his crane. Oh yeah, I did another retainer wall. See that wall right there? I put that one up. I also put a similar one up here. Here, you could take a look at it up close. Really similar to the cobblestone one that we did, except that it's using the stone brick and stone palette. And yeah, I just think that's so pretty. So pretty. I tell you what, guys, the slums are where it's at right now. So anyway, hey, thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure and hit the like button. Feel free to share the video, spread the good word about the channel and the series. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, join the Coop Dizzle family, and follow along as we continue to ball hard here on the Diamond Society SMP. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, may you be happy, may you be well, and take care. I'll see you later.